Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back into the video today. And today, the Houston Texans have re-signed Desmond King II. Man, I love this re-signing for the Houston Texans. This was one of 4 re-signings for the Houston Texans today. They brought back Desmond King II, who played cornerback for them this season, 7 games with 3 starts. They also brought back Chris Boyd, another guy that's in the secondary. Brought back two guys that are in the secondary, Chris Boyd and Eric Murray, a safety. And then also, I'm a big fan of this guy. Brought back defensive tackle Khalil Davis. So some nice moves made on the defensive side today, re-signing 4 players to 1-year deals. Desmond King is going to get $2.2 million, a 1-year $2.2 million deal. So free agency hasn't even started yet, and the Texans are already making moves. And we already know about the moves that were made earlier in the week, bringing back Dalton Schultz and Ka'imi Fairbairn. So I love with the Texans, free agency not being here until March 13th, where the Texans can go out there and sign other players that were on other rosters this past season. They're still managing to go out there and bring back some of these guys that played an impact to this amazing 2023 season for the Houston Texans. So King, if you guys remember, Desmond King was a part of the Texans team 2021 and 2022, and he was on the roster going into 2023 until, I'll be honest, the Houston Texans made a stupid roster cut in cutting him. I did not like that roster cut at all. I thought it was gonna, I thought it was gonna hurt us, to be honest. And he goes to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh picks him up almost instantly. And honestly, lucky to the Texans, King only plays 3 games there. He struggles. He gets injured. And it didn't go well with Pittsburgh, and they cut him. Luckily for the Texans, they realized, we should have never cut Desmond King in the first place. They pick him back up. He returns to the team. I believe his first game back with the Texans, his first game back was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You guys remember? I mean, I'm saying you guys remember like this was years ago. This was months ago. But the Texans played the Jaguars in that big game in Houston that really, if the Texans lost that game, it was going to look like the Texans had zero, their odds to win the division were not good at all. It was low, I think 15 to 20%, something like that, if they lost that Jacksonville game, which they did. But I don't think anybody thought the downfall of the Jacksonville Jaguars would happen like we saw happen. And that was his first game back. And if you guys also remember, in that game against the Jaguars, Desmond King made a big play at the goal line at the end of the first half. Jacksonville was up. They were at the 1-yard line, and they wanted to score. They wanted to score a touchdown. They could have kicked a field goal. I don't remember the exact score. I am pretty sure they were either up 7 or 10, and a touchdown would be big for them. And they should have probably kicked the field goal, but they went for the touchdown. I believe they gave the ball to Travis Etienne or Trevor Lawrence, tried to run it in, and Desmond King made a huge stop. But let's go over what he did in his full 7 games. So 7 games with 3 starts with the Texans once he returned to the Texans. He had 2 passes deflected with 1 fumble, and he had 1 sack, 47 tackles, 5 tackles for loss. Let's go over what he did in his first 2 seasons with the Texans, his first full seasons with the Texans. 2022, 17 games, 13 starts, 2 interceptions, returned those for 30 yards. And his longest was 29, 8 passes deflected, 1 fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, 20 yards returned on those fumble recoveries, 89 tackles, and 10 tackles for loss. 2021 with the Texans, 16 games, 12 starts, 3 interceptions, 25 yards. Returned on those interceptions, 6 passes deflected, 1 forced fumble, 93 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. So I'm glad the Texans are bringing him back. I'm excited to see what his role will be in 2024. And also, Desmond King can, punt return for you as well. And I think, he's a great punt returner. So it'd be interesting to see if the Texans use him in that kind of role as well. in next season. In next season's campaign. What are your thoughts on the re-signing for the Texans in the comment section? And peace out. Go Texans.